All right. Hey, everyone. It's December the 2nd, the year 2019. And I'm going to try something a little different going forward. I used to say peace and blessings, but there's so many devils that listen to my audios and videos that try to catch me in every word. And I just don't want to say peace and blessings to those particular folks, the non-believers, the ones who hate God. So I'm going to change my introduction, hopefully, and be disciplined enough to stick to it. You guys can help remind me. But I'm going to say something that you can write on my tombstone, and that is the King James Bible is the perfect word of God and the source of all truth. So having said that, let's get on with today's audio. We have our first contact with Amy Gonzales. She was the first person in the nation, or first group of people with her co-defendants, that were sentenced to life for the crime of cyber stalking. Now, at this point, December the 2nd, 2019, I don't know anything about her case. I simply don't know. I'm educating myself and I'm putting this out there, and maybe you can help me, maybe you can help me educate ourselves about the case of Amy Gonzales, who was sentenced to life in prison for cyber stalking. She's over in Fort Worth, and let's read our first letter from Amy Gonzales. Hi, Mr. Davis. I received your contact information from one of the ladies in here and felt very strongly that I needed to contact you. Keep in mind, the only other person we know in FMC Carswell in Fort Worth, Texas is Elaine Brown. So I suspect it's Elaine, although I don't know that for sure. Felt very strongly that I needed to contact you. My brother, David Matusiewicz, mother, Lenore Matusiewicz, and myself were all convicted of conspiracy to commit interstate stalking and cyber stalking, along with cyber stalking, resulting in the death of my brother, David's ex-wife, Christine Belford. My brother and mother were also convicted of interstate stalking, resulting in death as well. My father, Thomas Matusiewicz, who suffered from a left frontal lobe meningioma, I don't know how to pronounce that word, maybe you guys can help me, who suffered from a left frontal lobe meningioma of the brain, shot and killed my ex-sister-in-law, her friend, and then committed suicide at the Newcastle County Courthouse in Delaware. Since my father could not be convicted of this crime, they convicted my entire family and sentenced us all to life in prison. My mother has since passed away in prison from brain tumors due to deliberate indifference of the medical staff. David and Christine went through child custody proceedings and divorce back in 2006 and 2007 with his 3 children to keep them safe from an abusive mother. My family was involved with a national organization, Unite for Justice, with CEO Doug Miller, Millar, who recommended that we get our story out there on the internet to the public, asking for help to prove that my ex-sister-in-law needed help due to her mental health issues. To get help for my nieces, of which we believe the oldest was being sexually abused by her mother, and to get my brother's parental rights restored since they were terminated due to his felony conviction for international parental kidnapping. I put a video that was legally obtained by the private investigator hired by David's lawyer during the divorce proceedings back in 2006 on YouTube in 2011 or 2012 to show my ex-sister-in-law dragging my autistic niece by the arm across the gravel road 7 times. 7X, I assume that means 7 times. It says gravel road 7X. I also put a polygraph that my mother and I both took and passed on the internet asking for help for these children. This is considered cyber stalking. David was trying to consult with lawyers to try to get his conviction for international parental kidnapping overturned, to get his parental rights reinstated, and to try to get his optometric license back so he could practice. Oh, optometric. Maybe that's like a glasses thing. Optometric. 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 Optometric license back so he could practice in the field he loved. We were convicted by a jury trial by the government's theory of the case on July the 10th, 2015. Our direct appeal was denied. Our petition for rehearing en banc was denied. Hold on. Our direct appeal was denied. Our petition for rehearing en banc was denied. Our Supreme Court petition for hearing was denied. We are currently in the process of trying to find a pro bono attorneys to try to help us with 2255 motions. My lawyer finally sent me my trial transcripts in October 2019 after I have been asking for them since July 2015. My brother's lawyers and my lawyer never told us that our appeals were all denied. We found out from third parties. Okay, I read through this once, but I didn't pick up on the trial transcripts. If she has copies of those, and I don't know how much it would cost, sometimes it's several $100s, but I could put those on the Dropbox website for people to download if we can get access to them. Anyway, my brother's lawyer and my lawyer never told us that our appeals were all denied. We found out from third parties. Our 2255 motions are supposed to be due June the 17th, 2020, but we are trying to see if we can be granted equitable tolling due to ineffective assistance with obtaining transcripts and non-disclosure of the denial of our appeal. I have evidence of all of this. Please let me know if you can recommend any amazing pro bono lawyers that can assist innocent people return home to their loved ones and get justice so this doesn't happen to anyone else. Let me just read that sentence again because you guys know how I feel about lawyers, and the word amazing pro bono lawyers, I would never put those four words in the same sentence like she does. Please let me know if you can recommend any amazing pro bono. Well, if you think of amazing in a negative way, like an evil way, like they're amazingly evil or amazingly corrupt or amazingly deceptive or amazingly greedy or amazingly want to take all your money, maybe you could put the word amazing there. But let me read that again. Please let me know if you can recommend any amazing pro bono lawyers that can assist innocent people return home to their loved ones and get justice so this doesn't happen to anyone else. Again, our case is precedential, which means that it was the very first one, and is the first in the nation, so they are trying to make an example out of my family. It is very political. They had an honorary ceremony for all that were involved in our prosecution in June 2019 after the Supreme Court, sorry, not South Carolina, after the Supreme Court denied our writ of certiorari. We are also wanting to speak with the media, but our lawyers always told us not to speak with any media. Well, that doesn't surprise me. The lawyers never want you to speak to the media. They just want to get paid without any hassle from the media. And the fact they had an honorary ceremony, patting each other on the back, celebrating their conviction is very par for the course. We know that Schaefer's lawyers and prosecutors and FBI agents went to a big fancy prestigious building and had a big steak dinner when they prosecuted Schaefer. So they also got big monetary bonuses. Anyway, but our lawyers always told us not to speak with any media until after the appeals process has been completed. I have put off the media, but I am willing and wanting to speak out so that the public will be educated regarding this statute and how innocent people can be imprisoned very easily if this conviction does not get overturned. Thank you for taking your time to read this, and please let me know if you would like me to send you a packet of info regarding our case. Okay, I need to reply back to her and say I would like the packet of info and I would like access to those transcripts if at all possible, if it's not too expensive. She goes on to write, God bless and happy Thanksgiving, Amy Gonzales. Okay, so I wrote her back. I'm going to write her back. I wrote her back already. And I said, hello, Amy. Please be aware that going public with your case is a method that can attract those who have empathy and want to be helpful, but is also going to attract devils who will do everything in their power to slander and defame you and take pleasure from your suffering. As I am not familiar with your case yet, I will place a letter in the mail to you tomorrow about our ministry. I will also mail you some articles I found on the net so you can get an idea of what is being written about you. When you have had a chance to digest the letter I am mailing to you, we can communicate more. All glory to Jesus Christ. And she's already written me back this morning in core links, and here was the latest response that I have from Amy Gonzales. She says, good morning, Rudy. Thank you so much for your response. I will be happy to read the letter that you are sending. I completely understand about the good and bad side of media. Unfortunately, my family has only experienced the bad side of it. The public has never heard our side of things. Thank you and God bless Amy. All right, well, that's Amy Gonzales, sentenced to life in prison. Looks like she's been in there since 2015. I'm going to admit at this point in time, I know nothing about her case. I have no idea. I don't take a position on her guilt or innocence, but I do know how corrupt our system is, and I'm willing to listen to what she has to say. I pray you are too. And if you do know things about her case, or if you have resources that can help us educate ourselves about her case, please put them in the comments section. And what did I say that I was going to change my introduction to in the beginning? It's no longer going to be peace and blessings. It's going to be the King James Bible is the perfect Word of God. You can put that on my tombstone.
FIJA.org. Find out what it's all about before it's too late.
She said FIJA.org.